Hi, everybody. I'm Amanda from Roseboro Travel. I'm so excited you joined us today. We will be talking to Lionel from Azamara, and he's going to give you a whole rundown of all of the amazing things that Azamara has going on right now, as well as their ships and experiences. And that's the number one thing that we'll probably be talking about today is experiences and the way that you can experience the world with Azamara. So on behalf of Roseboro Travel, I would like to thank you all for joining us today. I'm excited to have you here. And I'm going to give Lionel full control of this show today and let him take it away from here. Lionel, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you so much. Thanks all to who are watching this right now, and those of you might be watching the recording later. It's so exciting to be here with you, and I'm excited to help present Azamara to you in a different way. I think maybe you've heard of Azamara in the past. I know that I've had the privilege and a number of times to come up there where you all are in Roseboro Travel and DeLand and present Azamara and connect with all of you. But I feel like it's about time that we go in and try this one more time of just explaining what makes Azamara unique. We've been in business for 15 years, but there is a secret sauce to Azamara. And before I go into the secret sauce and maybe bringing home the point of what makes Azamara unique, I want to help you understand how I describe Azamara. So I've been with Azamara now for 13 of the last 20 years that I've been in business. I've come up with a way to best describe Azamara, and this is how I do it. I say that Azamara is a land vacation company that uses floating hotels. I know that's probably odd for you to hear, considering that I operate cruise ships and I am a cruise line, but why do I say that I'm a land vacation company that uses floating hotels? And you're going to hear me saying that a few times because I think repetition is key to remember, and that's that we deliver more time in port, and not just say that we have more time in port, but actually 80% or more of the itinerary that you will be experiencing with Azamara, you will actually be in the destination. That means you can watch the sunset from the destination. That means you can eat dinner in the destination. That means you could have a nightcap in the destination. You could watch a show or take in a concert, maybe go out to the movies in the destination. Better yet, maybe you want to spend the night in the destination and wake up off the ship, but on land. So this is what makes Azamara unique. Today, we operate 4 identical vessels, each one of them carrying 700 passengers, 400 crew to serve you while you're on board. And then the other thing that we do is that we visit those hard to reach ports. Over 65% of the ports we call on can't be frequented by large ships, can't be visited by large ships. And I'll give you an example. Here we are in Marseille. We actually sail into the harbor of Marseille. We're docked right next to other yachts, small ships. And if you look, you can't get any closer to the center of town. I wish I had a map, but I have some other maps to show you so you get because I think seeing is believing, a better view of what it is to be centrally located. So our new tagline is change the way you see. And I believe this video does a great job of illustrating and maybe putting to images and words what I believe Azamara is all about. Here we go.
Push beyond the obvious, and perspective is open to change. When you see parts unknown in ports less known, unwind, stay the night, and just slow down. Wander, but never wonder what a place is really like. The difference is night and day. Azamara, change the way you see.
So I hope you can appreciate the play of the word there, change the way you see, S-E-A, because when in our name, it does not say cruise line. It says Azamara. It's not Azamara Cruises, it's Azamara. And it's because our focus is to be that land vacation company or to let you choose us as your land vacation deliverer, where the hotel actually just follows you along on your land vacation journey. So today our ships cover the globe, 365 ports, 81 countries, all 7 continents. So we have a ship or a itinerary or voyage anywhere that you would like to be. So let's talk about those things that make us different. I mentioned those late night stays and overnights. And what does that mean? That means that we have a departure of 8 p.m. or later. In many cases, we actually overnight. And in some cases, we overnight more than once. I'm going to give you an example. In Israel, we have an Israel intensive itinerary where we actually dedicate 5 nights to the country of Israel. We disembark the vessel in Ashdod on the first night, and we depart from Haifa on the 5th night. So this is an opportunity where some of our guests like to go and explore that country off the ship. We also visit these hard to reach ports. And on the top right, you see Marseille, and I showed it earlier, but I kind of love how the ships blend into the backdrop. But I truly believe, being a dad of a first grader, he was just in kindergarten last year, he did a lot of show and tell. And I think that if I can show you, it's easier to believe, because then you get to see it for yourself. So let's use the example of Bordeaux. Bordeaux is one of those ports really difficult to reach, especially by ocean ship. You can access it by riverboat, or you could fly there. But Azamara, actually, if you can see it there on the bottom right, we dock right on the Garonne. We're actually 15 minutes closer to the center of town than even the riverboats on the same river. And I want to show you, this is where the large ships dock. They dock in La Rochelle. It takes almost 2 hours south to get to Bordeaux. Azamara actually sails up the river, and we dock centrally located right in Bordeaux. And we do this on our France intensive itineraries. So maybe France is on your list. This is a great way to see and experience this wonderful gastronomic destination. I have to tell you, I never ate dinner or lunch on the ship those 3 nights that we were in Bordeaux. I ate off the ship every day for lunch and every day for dinner, because you could argue that this is some of the best cuisine in the world. Then we have the port of Sevilla. Sevilla is in the heart of Spain, and it actually has a river that runs through it, and it's the Guadalquivir River. And Azamara sails up the Guadalquivir River, or I guess up the Guadalquivir River into Sevilla. And notice that the other cruise ships, maybe you've been with us with a cruise line before that goes to Cadiz, but Cadiz is just outside of, just under 2 hours away from Sevilla, and you come in at 9 a.m., maybe 10, and then you're leaving by 6. So just enough time to probably take the bus up to Sevilla, take a picture, maybe grab a snack, and then turn around and come right back to Cadiz. Well, with Azamara, we spend 3 days, 2 nights in Cadiz, in Sevilla, with on our Spanish intensive itinerary. And I'm going to show you what other types of country intensive itineraries we offer. Because at the end of the day, like I mentioned, I love the ability that we have focused on delivering voyages that are dedicated just to one country. Today, very few cruise lines, if any, have created itineraries that just focus in one country. So cruising is great because you could sample many different places, but with Azamara, you could do a regular cruise, or you could do a country intensive cruise. And Azamara today has 18 different countries that we offer these country intensive itineraries. And this is how we believe we get to set ourselves apart from the competitors in the very attractive and competitive cruise space. Now, let's talk about Europe. Here's one of those French intensive itineraries. And I don't know how small it might be on your screen, but I want you to notice that there's only 1 day at sea on this 11-night program, 3 overnights, 1 in Rouen, 1 in Nantes, 1, and then also in Bordeaux. So if you were looking to see France, especially the northern part of France, how awesome. We also will be overnighting. We're going to be spending the day in Cherbourg. This is the site of the D-Day landing beaches. So how about also, let's go to the next one here. We have a Spanish intensive. This has 0 days at sea. It has the 3 days, 2 nights in Sevilla. We also have a night in Valencia, home of the paella, and no days at sea. And don't forget, we also have stops in Portugal, because if you're going out there, why not see Portugal, it's truly another beautiful country as well. But this one is considered one of our Spanish intensives. And then Greece. Greece is on almost everybody's bucket list. And even if you've been there, you want to go back. And with Greece, this is a 10-night program with only 1 day at sea. And of course, we have the highlights of Santorini and we have the highlights of Mykonos. Notice that in Santorini, we're there till 10 p.m. But we also have smaller, harder to reach ports like Volos and Thessaloniki and Kavala, Marmaris in Turkey. These are places that are must visit, but very few people hear about them because they only know about the popular tourist destinations in Greece. So I promise you, if you've ever walked into your favorite Greek restaurant, one of the pictures on the wall is probably not of Santorini or Mykonos. It's probably of one of these other places. Thessaloniki is a fan favorite of many of the locals. And then we have South Africa. And in South Africa, we have a phenomenal partnership with a great tour operator called Mikado. However, your team at Roseboro can also help you make the most of your time if you're going to fly to South Africa. But we have a 12-night South Africa intensive with multiple late nights and multiple overnights. And it's truly a great way to immerse yourself in that country, in addition to another stop in Mozambique. But while you're there, don't forget, you have to do a safari. And I highly recommend that you do one pre or post to your vacation, because it's really the best way to get a chance to see the Big Five. And then I want to point out the fact that we are going to be doing the Americas and South America and doing the Caribbean. So we will have some departures beginning in December from Miami with the brand new Azamara Onward. But I wanted to call your attention to two Panama Canal options. You'll see them there on the bottom left. What I love about this trip is typically a Panama Canal trip will take you from Florida to California, or California back to Florida. Maybe you could do a round trip Miami or round trip Florida, go through the Gatun locks and turn around. With Azamara, you're going to go down to Lima, Peru, another amazing destination with history and culture and food. But this is a 16-night trip that ends in Lima, or begins in Lima and ends in Miami. The best part, you can add a Machu Picchu experience for 4 to 5 night program before or after your trip, depending if you're beginning in Lima or ending in Lima. And then how about Japan? Japan, I know, is also on people's bucket lists, and up until very recently, Japan was closed off to tourism. What a shame, but now they have opened their borders and allowing tourists to come, and we're excited because we will be there again this spring and next spring. And one of the ways that we visit Japan is with a country intensive. And of course, we have to do it during cherry blossom season. So you will make sure to be able to take in everything that is beautiful about this country and get a chance to pack and unpack just once. Now, last but not least, we have the Australia program, and we have an Australia intensive or a New Zealand intensive, or you could find something like this where we get to do a little bit of both. Now, land is really at the core and the DNA of what we do. So we've forged some great partnerships with companies like Mikado in Africa, Culture Peru for South America. But I also wanted to point out another partnership that I haven't discussed yet, and that's the partnership with a company called Perry Golf. Now, maybe you're into golfing, and if you are, you probably haven't gone golfing on a cruise because you can't do both. There's just not enough time. But with Azamara and Perry Golf, they've identified over 20 different options where you can golf and cruise. Better yet, you can golf, cruise, and still come back from playing golf and go on a shore excursion because the ship is still in port. Remember, I told you we're that floating hotel on your fantastic land vacation journey. So make sure to talk to your team at Roseboro about pairing both vacation options, that golf vacation and that cruise vacation. And then when it comes to shore excursions are one of those programs that are additional to your cruise fare. However, we've broken it down in different ways for you to explore the destination. First of all, we max out our tours at 26 people. So you're not going to be going on a tour with a lot of people or a busload of people. So we have our locales and landmarks. These are going to be your churches, your museums, your city tours. But then we have our local immersion tours. These are going to be the ones where maybe you go inside of a family's home and prepare a meal in their home and then sit at their table. I did this in Dubrovnik with a local family in Croatia, and it was just 12 of us at their table. We made gnocchi by hand and sat down, drank wine that they grow on their property, dipped bread that they baked in their home with the olive oil that they press on their property as well. It was really a magical experience. And then we have our exclusive experiences. These are going to be things that are like world events, maybe the Monaco Grand Prix or the FIFA World Cup or New Year's Eve in Sydney Harbor, maybe the military tattoo in Scotland, the Open Championship also in the Baltic, in the Northern Europe area. So this is all the different things that you can look forward to, maybe plan your trip around, because maybe you wanted to do the Monaco Grand Prix. Well, guess what? Try finding a hotel in Monaco during the Grand Prix. It's crazy. And I love it. Amanda, you're like, yes, I know. So we can be that hotel for you. We have the tickets to the event. We will be centrally located. Why not allow us to do all the legwork for you and accommodate you and take you on that perfect land journey? Now, one of the ways we also showcase land because of all the time in port is we do have an inclusive shore excursion. This excursion is called an Azamazing Evening. I know it's quite the mouthful, but it's a really creative way to combine two words, amazing and Azamara. But I got another word for you, maybe just as mouthful, but easier to remember. Our Azamazing Evening, I like to call it an ungoogleable event, because you can't Google this event to buy tickets or to attend the event. This is an event curated and created just for Azamara by Azamara for the exclusive invitation of only the guests off that ship that evening. So you could call it an ungoogleable event, or you could call it an Azamazing Evening. It's up to you, but it is included on every voyage, 7 nights or longer. And what is it exactly? Well, we invite you to a beautifully restored venue in the heart of the city. We showcase and invite to perform for you local entertainment, and then there is some form of food and drink provided as well, so that you can truly connect with that destination in the evening. Now, another really great voyage, one for you to consider, and they're quite popular right now, is we have our first ever world voyage. This is going to take place in 2024. It's 155 nights, 10 segments departing from Fort Lauderdale, ending in Barcelona. And it's a great way to see the 7 wonders of the world. This is going to depart on January 5th. And you can also purchase just segments. It's completely up to you. But if you have the time, this might be the perfect way to see the globe and pack and unpack just once. Now that we've talked about destinations, let's talk about our beautiful floating hotels. These are going to be your ships for the duration of your journey to visit any part of the world that you're looking to visit. We operate 4 identical vessels: the Journey, the Quest, the Pursuit, and the Onward, each one carrying 700 passengers and 400 crew to serve your needs while on board. We have accommodations of all sizes, but I want to point out my favorite. This is not the largest or the most expensive, so don't misinterpret it by being my favorite because it must be the one that is the most profitable. No, it is my favorite because it's the one I would love to sail on with my wife. I actually call this one, it's called the Spa Suite, but I call it the Sexy Suite because it's the only one of our collection that has a hot tub that is glass enclosed out on the veranda. So maybe you're into that kind of thing. You want that type of exclusivity. You want key access and being adjacent to the spa. This might be the room for you. But we also have rooms to accommodate your needs in an inside, in an ocean view, veranda, and also suites. So we have different levels to accommodate your needs depending on what type of accommodation you want to call home while you're sailing with us. On board, we have evening entertainment every single night in our cabaret lounge. We have a full service spa and really nice sized fitness center. And I don't want you to forget about one really special night that takes place on the ship, and that is our White Night Evening. We were talking about these experiences earlier. You know, Amanda, you mentioned about the experiences. So experiencing nightlife in the destination, maybe with one of our As Amazing Evenings or independently, but also experiencing nightlife in the destination on the ship is another way Azamara brings the destination to life with our white night. So for starters, you should bring something white. I don't know if you could tell, but there's one person in that, well, two people in this picture not wearing white, and they stand out. So if you don't want to stand out when we take pictures, bring something white. But also, what do we do that's unique is that we source local food from the destination, and our officers, the men and women that usually hide behind the scenes on most ships, are the ones preparing your meal poolside that evening. And so they're the ones flipping the lobster tails, turning over the steaks. They're the ones making your dessert, your crepe, Suzette. And all of this is happening while we're in port, watching the sun set and that coastline transform from day to night. It is truly a magical night, one that you will not forget. And I hope that you can join us on board to experience it firsthand. Now, onboard dining is quite delicious, but of course, what would I say? I work for Azamara, but I'll tell you why I think it's so delicious is that not every night we highlight a different region of the world that we visit. So on our menu, we have the menu changes in that main dining room every day. On the bottom, we have our world menu. This is going to highlight the region of the world that we are trying to cover that night. So one night is Turkey, another night is Spain, another night is Greece, another night is Japan. My favorite is India and Greece. Those are my two favorite nights that we highlight. And then we have our stapled menu. So what that means is this menu never changes. This is for that less than adventurous eater who just wants their steak and potatoes, or maybe their chicken or their pasta or their fish. That menu will never change, stays the same. These two menus change every day. And one of the other things that I like that we do is we also highlight that destination in our buffet. So we have the main dining room discoveries, which is open between 6 and 9, no set dining times. Our dress code on board is country club casual, so there are no formal nights on board. And we have our buffet windows, which I alluded to already, but my favorite restaurant is actually an included restaurant. It's called the Patio. And the Patio is the one you see photographed there on the top left. It's right next to the pool. Now at lunchtime, the Patio serves everything you expect from a pool grill, right? Hamburgers, hot dogs, chicken wings, even a salad station in case you want to be a little bit healthier. But at dinner time, we actually serve an elevated dinner menu, one that is not served at lunch, and one that I highly recommend you don't miss or wait till the last night, because I promise you, you're going to want to go back to that restaurant, the Patio. And then we have two specialty restaurants, Prime C and Aquilina. These are included for our suite guests, but a $35 cover charge for our non-suite clients. Onboard Azamara, we include so much in our pricing. So we don't call ourselves all inclusive. We do call ourselves more inclusive. And that's because we include gratuities. We include your adult beverages, not just wine and beer with lunch and dinner, but full bar whenever you're thirsty. If the bars are open, you get to drink. We have included our As Amazing Evenings. And then if we're not centrally located in the heart of the city, we actually provide you transportation from the ship to the heart of the city. And this is happening while we're in port, or while we're docking, not on the port of embarkation or debarkation. So you're probably wondering, well, Lionel, what's not included? Well, not included in my pricing is airfare, internet, and shore excursions. Those three items are not included in our standard fares. However, we can add it for you, and your team at Roseboro will be more than happy to package it all together for you in one price. But when you see our price, it does not include airfare, internet, or shore excursions. Now we have a great team of professionals. These are those officers I told you earlier that are serving you dinner poolside during the white night. Yes, they are the men and women who are the reason why so many of our guests return to us again and again. I would tell you that if you've sailed with us before, you probably know some of these faces. Over 90% of them have been with us since we started 15 years ago. And truly, they're the reasons why 50% of our clients return to Azamara year in and year out to cruise with us again. So let's talk about our promotions and the different things that we have in place to entice you to maybe plan and think about looking at doing a trip or your next trip with Azamara. So for starters, I want you to know off the top, every single itinerary with Azamara is on sale. We have those that are departing close in, which are departures before March, and those are part of our last minute voyages. And then we have departures that are traveling between March and November of next year. And those are part of our double upgrade promotion, which means you pay for an inside and travel in the Veranda of your choice, or pay for an Oceanview and travel in the Veranda Plus of your choice. So this is a great promo. This started back in September. It will not expire until December. So I'm not trying to force you to make a decision right now, just letting you know what it is that we have in mind for you. Then we have, for those of you who want to plan further out, well, we're currently published through the end of 2024. So any departure November of 23 through December of 24 takes advantage of our early booking bonus. That means in any category, you will save 20% off guest 1 and guest 2. And if you choose a Veranda or better, you will receive free Wi-Fi, $300 onboard credit, and a upgraded beverage package for 2. So that is what we're offering as our early booking bonus. Now, last but not least, I want to give you a reason to choose the team at Roseboro Travel. So they gave me the platform and the ability to be able to speak to all of you and share this with all of you. So I wanted to create a special incentive just for you for choosing to use Roseboro Travel to plan your next Azamara trip. So no matter when you're looking to travel, we will be able to extend a $300 onboard credit for an Oceanview, a $400 onboard credit for a Veranda, or a $500 onboard credit for a suite. Now, I know that I told you earlier you can take your time, but because this offer is so rich and valuable, I could only extend this offer for 2 weeks. So this offer will expire November 7th. So this is when we're recording this. Today is October 24th. We're recording it and we're here live with those of you watching, and I'm sure others will see it later. But November 7th, this offer will expire. And with that, I would love to say thank you. And if you have any questions or anything, I will be more than happy to address them.
I'm going to unmute myself. Thank you so much, Lionel. That was great. I wanted to ask, I didn't hear it, but I wanted to verify, did you talk about the size of the ship, how many passengers are on board?
We could most definitely talk about it again. So yeah, the ships carry 700 passengers, 400 crew. All 4 ships are exactly the same size. So you don't have to worry about which one's better or bigger or smaller, or which one has a celebrity chef or a rock wall or an ice rink. They are all the same. They each carry 700 passengers at capacity and have 400 crew to serve your needs while on board. And they all have the same layout. So you just have to worry about where in the world it is that you want to go to next. And that's going to be the ship for you. And for those of you who like to measure ships in tonnage, the ships weigh 30,000 tons.
That's great. I may have been sending somebody an email about an Azamara intensive voyage when you said that. So I'm so happy that you answered my question. Thank you.
Welcome.
I did know that already, but I figured, you know what? It's important because since the days of COVID, people are not all looking for those big, massive ships. So having a nice, large ship, but with a lot less people on board, is a big selling point to a lot of people. So I definitely think that's good. And I have to say, you totally got me very excited about the South African voyages that you guys offer. I know everybody knows how much I love it there, but we have a lot of clientele who can't really do the intensive safari day by day by day by day. So we like to offer Azamara intensive South Africa intensive voyages often because of how beautiful the itinerary is. You still get to do your safaris, but it's that pack and unpack the one time, maybe 2 on the whole voyage, and you get a lot of amazing ports of call on that. Similarly, I know that we've had people very interested in the Israel journeys that you have, because they want to go to the Holy Land, but maybe not pack and unpack so many times. So that is a very large area of interest for a lot of people that we have looking for Azamara. So yeah, very exciting. Thank you very much. I
You're
didn't see
welcome.
any questions come in, but Brittany on our team will be sending out the recording as well as a reminder of the incentives. And we will be sending out some ideas for upcoming itineraries in case you just don't know where you want to go next. So we'll be
Like
sure
that.
to send some options out. Lionel, thank you so much for chatting with us today and talking a bit more about Azamara. I know, the last time I think you did a presentation with us was pre-COVID.
It's been a
So we're
while.
so excited to have you back and talking to our explorers again and getting Azamara to the top of mind again for everyone. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks again for the opportunity. Anything I could do for you or your team, let me know. I'm here.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us. And we will see you soon.